jump into this as quickly as I can and try to get through it as quickly as I can without wasting too much time, hopefully.
Good morning.
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play through this one area 2 times. I'm going to do it one time with better loot markers, and then I'm going to play through it one time with loot icons extended, the new one. So I've been able to recreate this issue pretty consistently, pretty much every time I've tried to do it. And I'm not sure what it is. I don't really know if it's the loot markers or loot icons extended or not. It could be loot icons extended that's mixing with another one of my mods and it's just not playing nice or something. So it's not necessarily the loot icons mod. And it's just its interaction with something else that I'm running. I've tried to recreate this in another area that has a lot of like loot icons, basically a lot of loot to take off of corpses. It was the mission for El Capitan where you got to go to that, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like an outdoor storage facility with like a whole bunch of storage garage doors and stuff. You got to do something and steal something like for paralysis or something. I don't remember. But there's a lot of enemies. I couldn't reproduce this issue there, but I've 100% pretty much been able to reproduce it here. So what we have here is, this is the area that you come as a street kid with Kurt Sawyer. So you get that right there's the garage where you get the jacket out of and stuff. So I was just coming over here because I was going over to, because right next to it is the fight, the boxing match in Arroyo. So I'm gonna do the fight exactly how I was doing it, and I've been kept doing it here to be able to recreate this issue. And maybe it's something with that one that's gonna be easy to fix, or maybe it's not really an issue with the mod, and it's an interaction between that mod and something else I have installed. But it only happens with that mod installed. It doesn't happen if I'm using, like right now, better loot markers. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna go through and do it exactly how I did it when I discovered this.
Y luego, ¿dónde estás?
Okay, and then I started going around and just collecting all the loot. Now, the loot is going to change, of course, every time I load the game up. It's going to be randomized, but the issues happened every single time, so it's not going to happen this time because I'm running better loot markers, which is what I was using originally. The main thing to keep an eye on here is the FPS. I consistently get between 58, 59, and 60 pretty much everywhere. It's very stable at that with my mod setup and everything. I know there's a quicker way to get this stuff off this guy, but I'm gonna do it exactly how I did it that time. So it's gonna take me a while to get all that, to get all this stuff. Okay, I got everything. I know you can just jump up there and get the stuff, but again, I want to do everything exactly how I did it before. Now, if you notice, okay, after I finished all that, and I got the hidden gem and all that, my FPS is just staying exactly where it was. It's not, nothing is acting goofy. It's just there. No issue. Again, I'll get a 1 or 2 dip here, and it may go a little bit higher, but I have it capped at 60. So, but it's very stable. GPU utilities, CPU utility, the temperatures, it's all, that's how my game's been running for many months now. All these numbers are the same. So what I'm going to go ahead and here now is I'm going to exit the game, go and deactivate better loot markers, and I'm going to activate the loot icons extended, and then we'll reproduce that issue. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are back getting into the game now. I went ahead and deactivated the better loot markers and activated loot icons extension. It can probably be guessed the issue is with the FPS. That's why I keep going back to FPS and stuff in describing what's going on here. But there may be other areas of the game, like I said, that this is happening. I haven't found any because I was just working on my playthrough, and I had came over here and was like I said, going and doing all the boxing matches, and I just came over here to clear out these people, and this is when it happened. I was like, what the heck? So I started trying to zero in on what the issue was. So I really haven't checked anywhere else. I did check, like I said, where all that one quest for Capitan, where all the storage units are at, but there was a lot of enemies and a lot of loot, and the issue didn't happen.
Shit, here we go again.
So, not sure. But as you can see, again, we are where we were at before. Now we're up to 60, 58, 59, 60. It just lingers around in there all the time. So we're going to go through and do the exact same thing again like we did before. I'm going to use the same weapons, try to recreate it exactly how I did it. And I've been able to reproduce this bug or whatever the issue is pretty consistently. I'd say almost 100% of the time by doing this. But I've just been doing exactly because that keeps the variables down on what it could be. Kill this guy. Okay, now we'll start gathering all this loot again. And the FPS is staying where it was always at, which is what it had consistently been doing here during my testing. This, and then we'll grab these things here. Guess I got them both, yeah. Okay. Now we just wait. You can see that the FPS here is getting worse and worse. When I had played through and found this originally, I was going over to do the boxing thing, which is over there. You can see now I'm down into the 40s and I'm starting to get some stuttering. And again, it only does that with this installed. If I sit here and just leave this continuously run, it'll continuously keep getting worse and worse and worse until it starts getting down into like the 30s and stuff. It just... Nothing seems to fix it until I save and reload, and then the FPS is back up. Now I watch like my GPU utility, CPU utility. None of that stuff starts to like max out to where like there's some kind of a calculation going on that's stuck in a loop, and the numbers just like get astronomically large or something, and it just crunches the CPU down. None of that happens. The temperatures remain the same, and the utilities from GPU and CPU, they remain consistent. So it's not something that's like stuck in an endless loop, but it'll continually get worse and worse and worse. I'm down to 45, 44. You know, it climbs back up tiny little bit, but it'll keep going back down. Like I said, if I just keep here and just stay, it'll keep dropping until it gets down into the 30s, and that's as lowest as I've taken. I just quit and read it, but you can see it starting to stutter and just all kinds of stuff. And when I was playing, when I found this out, like I said, I came over here and I came to go do the boxing match over here. You can see it's at 40 now, and it's really starting to stutter really bad and just getting like all jerky and everything. But by the time I was done with the boxing match, I was like, what the heck? I was down to like 30 FPS. Now I'm down to like 40, 42. And it just continuously gets worse and worse. 39 now. So, and again, this only happened with this mod installed. Now, I've been modding games for a very long time. So I am not the kind of person that quickly says, oh, this mod is broken and it's doing this. 38 now, 37. Because I know all too well that it could just be the way that this mod is interacting with a different mod that I have installed in my load order. And it's not necessarily this mod. It may be some other mod, how it's interacting with this one that's causing it. It could be anything like that. So I have not been able to zero down what the issue is. But what I do know with 100% surety is if I don't have this mod, icon, the loot icon extension, if it's not activated, I have never seen this problem. And I went through and I tested this probably 7 or 8 times, going back and forth, activating better loot markers and then running through like this, and then just doing this with the exact same weapons, running through the exact same way, just trying to keep all the variables consistent. And the frame rate just always stayed right there at 5960. It never altered. And then I took off better loot markers and I just left it purely vanilla, and it stayed the same thing. But whenever I activated this mod, it does this. After I go through that exact area how I did it, and then I collect this thing and do everything, it starts doing this. Now I'm in the 30s and stuff like that. It's just it'll continue to get worse until I save reload. And I have not been able to find any other area. Again, I didn't really test too many. I wanted to test one other area to see what was going on. So I tried to find a place that was a whole bunch of loot. So I figured I knew that one quest, and I went over there, and I could not make this happen over there. I went through it like 3 or 4 times with this mod installed and activated, and it never started to do this with the frame. So I've only been able to replicate it at this exact area here, but it's only when this mod is activated. Now, maybe if I could find out what is not playing nice, if that's the case, and I deactivated that other mod and left this mod installed and could see that, hey, it's working just fine. I don't know, but I can't tell where some kind of a conflict or where some kind of a not playing nice issue is coming from, or if there is just something going on with this mod particularly. I'm not sure. That's why it kind of needs somebody else to go through and do this exact area and run through it like how I did, and see if they can replicate it, because they're not going to have the same load order that I have. They're not going to have the same mods, and see if they can replicate this. But again, I have not been able to find this happen any other place but here. Now I'm down to 31 FPS. It's starting to get really ganky. And like I said, it'll just continually drop until I save reload. So I don't know what to make of it. It may just be something on my end, and if you as the mod author cannot replicate it on your end, then most likely it's not playing nice with something in my load order, and then it's not really something to be concerned about. But if you come over here and try to run through exactly how I did, and you're able to get this to start happening, or some other weird issue start happening, then maybe there's something going on with the mod in this particular area. I don't know. But again, it's only with this mod installed, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's this mod. It could be this mod playing with some other mod and they're not playing nice. I'm not sure. But I wanted to share this so that, as I know the mod is in its early stages and it was warned that there might be bugs and all that. I'm not saying the mod sucks. I love the mod. I think it's great. I love the icons. I really enjoy the mod. I do know that that's how it is. Whenever a mod is in the early stages, you kind of need bug reports so that you can figure out what needs to be fixed. It's really hard. I've made mods before, and it's really hard to do all the testing yourself because you can't possibly do it all yourself. So you need other people saying, hey, this is happening over here, this is happening, to help you iron out all the bugs. So that's all I'm doing. I'm not putting the mod down by any means at all. I really enjoy the mod. Just a little bug, and if nobody else can replicate it, then it's something on my end only. And that's, now we're down to 27, 26. Like I said, it's going to keep getting worse. It'll probably eventually crash, but I've never taken it that far. But you can see GPU utility, CPU utility is still right where it was running. The temperatures are right. Everything is the same except for that frame rate. Something's happening to the frames. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off there before I blab way too long. I think I was able to show exactly what was happening. Enough information to be able to try to replicate it yourself. If you just cannot replicate it, then it's something on my end. If you need info on like what weapons I was using, of course this is the Shuriken mod, and this is a new sword that just came out. I could send you the links to the weapons mods in case you want to try to use the exact weapons I'm using. But again, I did try this with better loot markers and vanilla with the exact same weapons, the exact same outfit, running through the exact same way, and this never happens. So something's not playing nice, and hopefully this helps get the bug ironed out. Okay, thanks for watching.